Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Orange County Business Journal's Innovator of the Year Awards. Winners of the Business Journal's Innovator of the Year Awards get noticed by investors, business partners, and national media. That much is clear looking at the roll call of winners from the first 5 years of the Innovator of the Year program. A collection of 26 forward-thinking people who've started the country's largest TV maker, created world-renowned software and energy companies, opened new types of shopping centers whose templates are now used across the country, and even devised new ways to affordably manufacture products in California. For many of our winners, their awards served as a precursor to major and profitable corporate events. 2015 winner Ron Simon, founder of cabinet maker RSI Home Products and home builder RSI Communities, sold both firms in 2018 for nearly $1.5 billion combined. Stuart McClure, founder of cybersecurity firm Cylance in Irvine, was an Innovator of the Year in 2016. Less than 3 years later, his firm was bought by BlackBerry for $1.4 billion. 2017 winner Lori Torres, founder of package delivery management system Parcel Pending, saw her firm bought 2 years later by Francis Neopost for about $100 million. Several of last year's winners saw immediate payoffs following their awards. Thank you for tuning in and joining us as we award the next 5 winners of the Orange County Business Journal's 2020 Innovator of the Year. And now, I would like to introduce Richard Reisman, publisher and CEO of the Orange County Business Journal, to commence the program.
Good afternoon. I'm Richard Reisman. Welcome to our 6th Annual Innovator of the Year Award program. For those of you that have been to this event in the past, I'm sure you'll recognize that we're doing things a lot differently this year. And that's in recognition, of course, of these challenging times. But the Business Journal has adapted, just as all of you have, and we're going to make the best of this situation, and I'm confident you're going to enjoy our program today. This is the second of our virtual events, and please stay tuned in the coming weeks for our recognition events for family-owned business and women in business. And to begin the program, I'd like to introduce you to our diamond sponsor, Cox Business.
To the IT professionals, enabling companies across the country to work from home and making business as usual out of unusual circumstances. This new way of working doesn't work without you. Your company is counting on you, and you can count on Cox Business Cloud Solutions. So keep collaborating, keep adapting. We'll keep your data safe and accessible through it all.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Varvis. I'm a director at Cox Business. Cox Business is a proud diamond sponsor of this year's Innovator of the Year Award ceremony. This is an amazing event, and Cox Business is proud to celebrate our local leaders of innovation. As a privately held and family-owned company, you know and trust Cox Business for our unparalleled local support and superior network capabilities. We've achieved this by investing over $15 billion in our network in the last 10 years and focusing on what matters most, our customers. What you may not know is that for over 120 years and 4 generations, Cox has been a national innovation leader, beginning with a small newspaper in Dayton, Ohio in 1898, and scaling to a $21 billion global solutions leader in media, telecommunications, transportation, clean tech, healthcare, and managed cloud solutions. While we have grown exponentially over time, we have never forgotten our modest beginnings. and recognize that helping startups, entrepreneurs, and yes, even disruptors succeed is critical to keep the innovation ecosystem alive and thriving here in Orange County. Today's rapidly evolving technology environment demands a solutions provider that meets your critical short-term requirements while adding value through secure and innovative solutions, ultimately preparing your organization for the future. Whether your key goals are to grow your business, reduce expenses, mitigate risks, or increase agility, we can help. Our technology experts can create a customized solution for your business, ensuring your employees have secure access to the data and applications they need from anywhere, anytime, and on any device. We are, after all, innovators serving innovators. To get the event started, I'd like to first recognize this year's nominees. Congratulations on your accomplishment of being nominated for this prestigious award. The nominees for today's awards exemplify the true spirit of innovation. There is an amazing level of talent joining us today from all over Orange County, and it was no easy feat selecting today's winners. Congratulations to each of you on your nomination. You represent an elite group of industry innovators, and this is a true celebration of your success.
I'd like to congratulate all of these outstanding nominees. And please permit me to acknowledge the sponsors that make this recognition event possible. It's a tough year, and for these sponsors to stick with the Business Journal and to continue to show their commitment to the innovation community says a lot. First, our diamond sponsor, Cox Business, our platinum sponsors, Mashoff Brennan, Straddling, UCI Beal Applied Innovation, Wells Fargo Bank, and our silver sponsor, Edwards Life Sciences. Thank you all. The Business Journal really appreciates your support, not only for this event, but for all that you do for the innovators in our community. Now I'd like to recognize Laura Garrett, our associate publisher, and Mark Mueller, our editor. Today's virtual event is the work of Laura and the advertising department, and special kudos to our event team who have been able to put together this outstanding program today. The Innovator Special Report, our weekly magazine, and the daily news updates are the work of Mark and his department. And the Business Journal will be profiling today's award recipients in our October 5th issue. I'd also like to give props to the editorial department, who in this challenging time has put together perhaps the best body of work that's ever been done at the Orange County Business Journal. And now it's time to commence the program. Our first award winner will be introduced by Parker Schweitz, shareholder with Straddling.
When we founded Straddling in 1975, we made a commitment to helping our clients to succeed and create opportunities for business growth throughout California and beyond. Our people share cutting-edge focus in guiding the critical transactions and disputes of our clients. And we've developed a deep bench of contacts and resources to get the job done. As trusted advisors to technology, life science, software, and medical device companies, we've invested in building our expertise, developing the best of legal talent, and the readiness to serve the business community. From our commitment to our clients to our deep involvement in the communities we serve, we understand our job is your success.
Good afternoon. My name is Parker Swish. I'm a shareholder with Straddling, Yaka, Carlson, and Routh, with a practice focused on emerging companies, financings, and mergers and acquisitions. Straddling is proud to be a sponsor of this event because our law firm is dedicated to supporting and building a strong ecosystem of innovation in Orange County. We do this by partnering with innovators in their companies, working with them throughout their life cycle to help them grow and succeed. It is an honor to present the next Innovator of the Year award to Kurt Busch of Sentient Corporation. Kurt, a big congratulations to you. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about Sentient?
Oh, thank you very much. So we started Sentient about 3 years ago to build a new type of processor. And the idea was to really make something that could bring the power of artificial intelligence that we often enjoy from the cloud today when we access Alexa or our photos or things like that into very small processors and make them pervasive. So anything from an earbud to your glasses to a cell phone or your laptop can have powerful AI built into it that you don't have to go to the cloud every time to access it.
That's great. And what was your biggest obstacle to your success, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, so the biggest obstacle, I think, in any semiconductor company, at least starting when we did about 3 years ago, was really raising funds. We were looking to build a company in Orange County to be the next great semiconductor company. We've incubated many great companies here in Orange County, but there hasn't been a new chip company started in about 20 years. And not being in Silicon Valley added an additional hurdle to this. So for us, we were just quite persistent for about 10 months, and eventually Intel Capital led our A round, and that really got us off to the races. Intel led the A round, Microsoft led the B round, and then later Microsoft and Applied Materials led the C rounds. And with that infusion of capital, coming primarily from Silicon Valley and Seattle down to Orange County has allowed us to execute on our plans.
And with that, what would you count as your greatest success?
Yeah, so the greatest success for Sentient is actually just quite recently. So we started the company about 3 years ago, and just recently we shipped our 1 millionth unit. And for a chip company, for those in the audience that are familiar with chips, it usually takes about 5 years to do this. And we shipped our 1 millionth units within the first 3 years. So we're quite excited about that.
It's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What are the 3 tips that you would give to innovators to help them with their growth and success?
Yeah, sure. So I think the 3 things that any innovator really should focus on are product market fit, execution, and burn rate. And they're actually quite intertwined together. The first is product market fit. You really want to figure out how your product fits in the market when your burn rate is low. The second part is, again, execution, is that you need to execute on your plan and get to a point before you run out of money that it's really fundable. So whether it's samples or customers or orders or things like that. So look at your product market fit first, come up with a plan, execute on that plan, and do so when you hit the major milestones before you run out of money. Because running out of money is absolutely the worst thing that you can ever do with a startup.
That's great, Kurt. It's going to be really exciting to see the continued success of you and your company, and we're really looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you very much, Parker.
Thank you.
To announce our next winner is Michael Katz, shareholder with Mashoff Brennan.
Hi, I'm Michael Katz. I'm a partner at the law firm of Mashoff Brennan, an intellectual property law firm with offices in Los Angeles, Orange County, Park City, and Salt Lake City. And we're a platinum sponsor of the Innovator of the Year award that the Orange County Business Journal presents every year. We're very excited this year to be presenting the award to Martha Montoya, the founder of Ag Tools, an incredible company that we'll talk about more in a minute. Martha, I'm so excited to welcome you to this year's awards ceremony and I'm really pleased to announce that you're the award winner this year as the Innovator of the Year award. Winner, you have carry on your shoulders a great responsibility, and that's why we have you here, because we don't just want to talk about your company. We want to pick your brain a little bit about insights that you could provide for innovators that are coming after you. Maybe they can avoid some of your mistakes and learn some of the tricks of the trade. So first of all, tell us a little bit about your company, Ag Tools. I understand that you came up with this idea of providing data analytics to the agricultural sector. What is it that you do, actually?
So what we do is we take data from all government entities across the world and institutions, and we put them in a little dashboard that is very simple and easy to read, from a farmer who has no time to decide what to do to the buyer who instead doesn't have time to do. And so it gives them an insight of how the market is behaving, the volumes, the pricing, the weather patterns in the market, not on the farms, but on the market.
Okay, and who are your typical customers for this tool?
Well, initially, and we know that there are 23 industries that are potential customers, and that's why it's so interestingly wide, but we're very laser focused on farmers and buyers, because that's really the supply chain after C-19 that we discovered we had no products on the shelves, is because buyers didn't know where to find products, and the farmers didn't know where to go with the extra or left products. So again, not trading among themselves, just data of where it's going things.
And when did you come up with this idea?
Well, I would say 20 plus years ago, because I used to develop crops worldwide for large corporations across whether South Africa, Vietnam, Chile, Pakistan. I had to develop the crops from scratch and analyze, was this a good place to start a crop? So I had to literally I had to use to go libraries, USC library, UCL library, to gather paperwork to understand whether this was the place. So I used to do these reports, and these reports eventually became an analog format. And then when one large corporation brought me to the United States to do a project, the same thing I was doing overseas, I realized that the data was missing also in the United States, and that's when I created an email format. So it has been always there, but kind of an evolution of it.
And so now you have this company that's thriving and that has a lot of customers, but surely you had problems along the way before you realized this potential. What was your greatest impediment to getting where you are today? Funding.
I would say funding, because when I went to Stanford to write the business plan, I understood the industry. I just didn't know whether this was a real business, so I went to Stanford for a program called Scalability for Latinos, and it's about businesses that have been successful but are not growing fast enough. And so they created this program at Stanford, so I went and said, okay, and I remember the professor said, whatever you have done, throw it away, but take your industry knowledge. And that's how that business plan was written. But then I went to UC Davis to validate the program, because that's the #1 university in the world for ag, literally, and did a 75 people research. And I think that that's one of the things that we have to emphasize for those of us who want to start a company. We need to do research of consumers, or the customers. What are the pain points, the famous pain points? I got that earlier in the business. But then when I went out there to fundraise, that's when I discovered that we women are very underfunded in the world of venture or angel world. And then if it's technology, it's even less. So from 2% to less than 0.1%. And if you're a minority, 0.01%. So I thought, after having flown the whole world, getting all this funding for projects overseas in the middle of nowhere, war zones, 20, 30, 40 millions, but we couldn't get funding in the United States. That was a little bit of puzzling for me.
Right. And how did you break that logjam?
I would say, well, I have to give credit to a wonderful gentleman in Seattle in one program for women, believe it or not. So I think these women programs are very interesting, and if we bring the gentleman to tell us the insights, and don't be shy, gentlemen, don't be shy to give us what you think, because it gives us an insight. He said, listen, how do you, when you found yourself, I play tennis professionally, I used to play tennis for Colombia, When you used to lose, what do you do? I said, next day I would go there and train more and focus more. So, well, it's the same thing here. Train more, focus more, and just focus on fundraising. Drop everything. Don't get so scattered out there doing marketing and sales. If fundraising is your focus, that's where you're going to focus. And so that's when I decided to focus, and that's when the break started happening.
I mean, that's great. That's one piece of great advice for young innovators coming after you. That's very insightful. What do you think your greatest accomplishment has been so far?
Well, besides having 2 children, which we women should always be proud of that, and parents should be proud of that, I think having 2 wonderful brothers, because I owe the business that we're doing through 2 brothers and parents that have been able to create a whole. I say that Act Tools today is really built around a community between parents, family, investors, customers. But I would say the biggest accomplishment for me is when I see the smile of a farmer being able to make more money. That when I see them smiling and saying, "There's as long as I see more, I see more, achieve more." When they say, "Oh, I can see," when I hear that, little I feel like I want to cry, because centuries have gone by and the farmers have no way to know what happens to them and their merchandise and their products.
It's a tough business.
It's a tough business.
So this gives them a leg up. And I think it's very interesting. You are the award winner, but you look to other people for help, and you are in an ecosystem where people are helping each other. That seems to be essential to achieving a project at the end of the day.
Oh, 100%. And I say that because maybe I started developing crops worldwide, and I knew that I had to bring so many people around to create programs. From even the gentleman who opens the door at the port, you need that person, the person who everything. So this whole road of Act Tools has been a wonderful one about bringing mentors and friends to it.
Well, that's just great. I'm so pleased to have you as the award winner, and I think California is the center of agricultural economy in the world, possibly, and I think you're contributing to making us even more cutting edge and more successful. So congratulations.
Thank you, and I believe Orange County in particular, and I know this because I have had a wonderful friends, mentors in the Orange County School District system on creativity. And creativity is what really drives businesses. And I remember when the wonderful gentleman from the Butterfly program, they'll see me eventually, they involved me in that. And I remember, because I come from a very creative family, but either you're business or you're creative. But no, now the world can merge, and Orange County is one of the best places in the world for creativity and business.
I believe that too. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Up again is Michael Varvis with Cox Business to announce our next award winner.
Hello again. I'm Michael Varvis from Cox Business, and I'm excited to announce this year's Innovator of the Year Award winner. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Reza Rofogarin, CTO, co-CEO, and founder of Irvine-based 5G millimeter wave startup, Movandi. Reza, congratulations for being named the Innovator of the Year recipient for 2020. Let's dive in and get to know you a little bit. I have some questions for you. What was your biggest obstacle in growing your business to current success, and how did you overcome it?
First, I should thank you and say hello to everybody. The challenge in my area of expertise, which is basically telecommunication and mainly wireless communication, is to be able to come up with new technique, new technology, and innovation to enable very viable, economically viable product that can be used in daily life. So everybody at every level can be using it and make their life easy. So to be able to do that, you have to come up with a lot of technique, innovation, and that's what we every day is doing.
Right.
Finding ways to do that. Yeah.
I can't wait to see what 5G is going to bring us. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, I think 5G will be the next revolution of the technology in 2020 decade. Same thing that internet did back in 90s, and wireless communication, like your cell phone and mobile phone did in 2000. And now I think 5G will make a new generation of the application and product, such as artificial intelligence on the cloud, which basically you collect a lot of data from everybody, and the system will make a very smart decision because it has access to many data from everybody. And the 5G is like a fiber. So it provides a fast connection between you and then the server or the cloud, and it enables to basically access the information and provide the information back and forth in a matter of very short time. So that will be the new generation of the application coming up. So it will actually push the application of AI, and the other area will be IoT. So almost everything will be tagged with one device, and all these devices will be connected to a server or cloud, and the cloud will manage all these devices, which is a sensor or control unit or just memory devices. So, and you will see almost every appliance or every unit with a known tag, and that tag will be always connected. Right. So the 5G will enable all of these new applications. Yeah.
Such an exciting time for the technology. Okay. That's great. So my next question is, what was your greatest moment of success?
The greatest moment of success for me, at least, is when you make something and it works and it was reliable and you can see that people can use it in daily life. So it always the greatest success for me, at least in my point of view, was like, for example, when I see people every day, they use their phone and they Wi-Fi or Bluetooth is connect them to the network, and then actually it helps their life much easier. So if you see people nowadays are using their phone and their phone become part of their life, is because of this technology. So this is basically, for me, the greatest success. Obviously, the great success comes with the, other reward as far as economy or also, those come with it. So if you make something happen, which is basically, and you enjoy it, then other rewards come with it.
Well, you've made a lot of things work, because I read in your background that you have over 800 patents to your name. You're a top 10 patent holder in the US and top 20 in the world. It's truly remarkable, really remarkable.
Yeah, I think this is not something extraordinary. I say almost everybody can do it. I think if you follow what your interest is and your talent is, every day you come up with idea. And those ideas are patentable. So I think you don't need to be genius. You basically need to follow your heart, what you are interested in it, and also find out what your talent in that area. And if you do it, then I guarantee you will have more patent than me. I don't think there is magic there. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Yeah. And lastly, what are your 3 specific tips you would share, recommend to other innovators to expedite growth and success?
In general, I tell every innovator or everybody who wants to start something, again, to follow your interest. Don't just copy other people's success to what you want. So in my area was communication and semiconductors. So that's what I always focus on that. And then my talent was more into electronics portion of it. And that's where I focus and my expertise developed in that area. And that was part of my success and helped me to grow to the level that now I can basically come up with a lot of new ways, technique easily. Now, how to accelerate growth is once you have such a background, then you can see the market, you can see the need, you can see how to do it, and you can address a solution. And then at the end, just remember, don't be disconnected from the reality. Whatever you make, you want everybody to use it. Your grandparent, your mother, your children. And it should be easy to use, reliable, plug and play, and economically very viable. So if you follow the easy use and economically viable and reliability, the growth comes with it. The moment you make the devices small enough, reliable, that can go to the phone and is cost effective, it will be used in every phone. So the growth comes easily with it.
Yeah. Well, that's great advice. It really is. And you're doing some wonderful things at your company. So I just want to say, again, congratulations on winning this award. And I wish you and your company great success going forward. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm able to make another thing that everybody uses it in the future. Yeah.
Thank you, Reza.
Thank you.
Moving along with the program, next to present is Luis Vasquez, Associate Director with the UCI Build Applied Innovation.
As a dynamic platform that supports and provides resources to faculty, innovators, and entrepreneurs, UCI Build Applied Innovation plays a critical part of building the modern and inclusive American dream, where UCI innovation meets industry to accelerate discoveries that matter, provide entrepreneurs what they need to succeed, and helps build a powerful and potent economy.
Hi, I'm Luis Vasquez. I'm the Associate Director of Venture Capital Collaboration at UC Irvine Beale Applied Innovation. And we are very pleased to be sponsors of this year's Orange County Business Journal Innovator of the Year Awards. UC Irvine Beale Applied Innovation is a central platform that provides resources and connections to startups and founders both on and off campus. I am very pleased to present this year's award for Innovator of the Year to Michael Dennan, who is the Vice Provost of Teaching and Learning at UC Irvine. Congratulations, Michael. We're so honored that a UC Irvine recipient won this award.
Well, thank you. It's great to get the award, and it's wonderful to be here.
We're just going to talk about a few questions here. So can you start off by telling us what was your biggest obstacle to driving innovation in higher education, and how did you overcome that?
Well, when you think of higher education, it's really interesting what the biggest obstacle is. It's we're very successful, and that most of the people at the university went through the university. So they experienced something that worked for them, so there's no motivation to innovate. That is one of the biggest problems. And so a lot of it is finding the motivation and the purpose behind the innovation. And for faculty, that's actually surprisingly simple. We're a research university. We do both research and teaching. And at UCI, faculty actually love their teaching, but what they really need is time. And a large part of my office was convincing faculty that the innovations we were proposing would both improve their teaching, but save them time. And once I found that motivation for faculty, you got a lot more buy-in, and then the innovation became much easier.
Well, that's wonderful. So along with that, what 3 tips would you give to other organizations to help drive innovation?
Well, when I think about innovation and what it really takes, the first one has been a theme for my whole life, which is you have to fail, and you have to be willing to fail. It sounds kind of trite and cliche, but it really is through our failures that we learn most effectively. Most of us remember, I think if you really think about it, the things you got wrong more than the things you got right. And at a university, particularly when I switched from working with faculty to staff, that fear of failure is actually pretty deep at times. And really helping the staff that had to do the innovation and implement it, that it's okay for us to get things wrong. And in fact, if we don't get anything wrong, we're not actually innovating, was a key step. And that would be advice I'd give to anyone, is you got to overcome that fear of failure. For me, the second most important is listening. Nothing was done without the team. I firmly believe that, and for myself, that means listening to the team to make the innovations even better than I ever imagined. I haven't had a single idea that other people didn't make better. And it's really listening to others that makes those ideas better. And the final one, I really feel the innovation must have a purpose behind it. We joke, one of our divisions got named the Division of Teaching Excellence and Innovation, and I really wanted to call it the Division of Teaching Excellence and Innovation where appropriate and justified. But it didn't make a good acronym, and they didn't want the name that long. But understanding the purpose behind the innovation provides that motivation and that drive and that framing and focus. And it's not just innovation for the sake of innovation, but it's innovation to achieve a goal.
Wonderful. So along with everyone, your organization, your world was really turned upside down by the COVID pandemic. How have you managed the challenges of COVID-19 on a university campus?
Well, one of the things about the challenges with COVID-19 I want to point out, which not everyone may know, we had about a week to switch from mostly in person to fully remote as we went from winter to spring quarter. And many people think of universities as big, unwieldy, and not flexible. We did that in a week. And that was thanks to over 1,000 faculty, 30,000 students, and all the staff coming together and really rising to that challenge. We did not have to delay the quarter. We put it together and we did it. So that part of it was just, people just did it. But I think the other piece when it comes to the COVID for me is really being grounded in reality and just accepting that we're in a pandemic. I know that may sound strange, and that goes back to my experimental physics roots. You can't do experimental physics and not accept reality. When the experiment does what it does, you can't sit there going, ooh, I hope it does something different. You actually have to address what's going on, make the changes, and move forward. And really through this pandemic, when it comes to teaching, that's what I've encouraged faculty and students to do. Yes, we miss some of the aspects of in-person, and we can't wait to get back. And we know there's things about in-person that really matter and work, but that's not where we are now. Accept reality, embrace it, because there's a lot about technology and a lot about remote that does work really well. And we're learning tons. And acknowledge the tragedies, acknowledge the challenges, but embrace the positive aspects of it at the same time. And basically just live in a world of reality and move forward.
Okay. Those are great insights. Thank you so much. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
And here to announce our last recipient is Manish Parikh, Senior Vice President, Market Executive, Orange County with Wells Fargo.
2020 has been the year of the unthinkable, and millions of Americans are struggling to put food on the table. So Wells Fargo is helping our neighbors feed their loved ones, using some of our locations as drive-up food banks, and helping provide 50 million meals for Americans in need. The unthinkable has happened. Now it's time to rethink how to make a difference. Wells Fargo.
Hi, my name is Manish Parikh, and I am proud to be here on behalf of Wells Fargo, who is a proud supporter of the Orange County Business Journal Innovator of the Year Awards. I have to give kudos to the Orange County Business Journal for pushing through with this new format in light of all the things that we're experiencing with COVID. As the market executive for Wells Fargo's Orange County Commercial Banking Office, I'm thrilled that Wells Fargo continues to support events such as this and continues their efforts to help on the COVID front. The institution has redistributed $175 million in local philanthropic aid to over 4,400 nonprofits across 50 states and 23 countries. So, I really believe we're united by this common thread of helping, and I am excited to announce this year's Innovator of the Year. And now I'm proud to introduce Bob Wolpert, Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer at Golden State Foods. Congratulations, Bob, on the big win. I'm really excited to be here with you today to chat about anything and everything innovation and allow people to get an insight into your background and all the accomplishments that you've had. So with that, I'd like to hopefully start some questions that you could hopefully answer.
That'd be fantastic, Manish. First of all, it's wonderful to be here with you today, and I'm very proud. I'd like to really accept this on behalf of Golden State Foods. We have a company that's been innovating for many years, and we're a very proud member of the Orange County community with our headquarters here in Irvine. So it's really great to be here.
Great. What is the biggest challenge in growing your business that innovation has helped you to overcome?
Well, I think many businesses today are struggling with, or at least addressing, speed of change. The world is going faster, technology is going faster, and the ability to move more quickly and more nimbly is one of the special things innovation brings to a business. So we've always been an innovator at GSF, but we're now driving it wider and deeper in our company because our customers are expecting us to bring innovative solutions to them in products and processes and technology. So it's a very important part of our business as you think of long cycle businesses becoming faster and more nimble and short cycle businesses.
Can you highlight a few recent innovation-inspired successes?
The list is very long at Golden State Foods. So one example would be that this has the spotlight today is our work in digital transformation. We 3 years ago started a journey on using blockchain, AI, and Internet of Things combined in our supply chain business segments to drive better transparency, better use of data. And we've got customers interested. We're leading the market around the world in this technology. We have a partnership with IBM in this space. But that's just one that gets the spotlight. We have 10 innovation centers around the world. We're developing new recipes for food and beverage and sauces. We're doing new formulations. We developed some new packaging where if you have a gun that dispenses sauce on a burger, we've got a new package that uses less of the package as waste and less product waste at the end. And then most recently with the COVID crisis, we realized that our production capability that uses milk for cappuccinos and mixes and for ice cream and for shakes could be used to heat milk up, put it in bottles and make it shelf stable and get it out to food banks across the country. So we're very proud of those innovations. And as I said, GSF is a deep history of innovation.
That's great. I mean, I know Golden State Foods feeds about 5 billion people a day, so how complex your supply chain may be. I think you're being humble about that, but appreciate that.
Oh, well, yes, we have a global footprint, 50 facilities around the world. We service all the major brands that you could think of in the quick service restaurant space. We have a combination of food and beverage and sauce products, as well as logistics services, taking the contents of what goes in a restaurant in the middle of the night into the restaurant and make sure it's fully stocked for the day. So we are core to our customer success, and we've been in Orange County for a long time. We're kind of a quiet player because we put our customers' brand first, but our customers are expecting us now to lead with innovation and bring it to them. And I think the message in Orange County is all of our businesses continue to get this drumbeat going around innovation.
Yeah, that's great. And I guess what 3 pieces of advice do you have for other executives that are listening that would like to champion innovation in their own organizations?
Great question. There are courses taught on this, but I think in 3 simple bullet points, I'd say one is leadership alignment. Getting all your leaders in an organization to recognize the importance of innovation and recognize that it's on a continuum from day-to-day continuous improvement all the way up to disruptive, new to the world. And allowing that to be a part of the culture is the second point. How do you get your leaders to have what I refer to as bimodal leadership, where if the company's making money and you're executing, you're focused on reducing variation, driving costs out, and innovation is somewhat of an enemy to that. So how do you have your leaders be bimodal and allow some innovation into their space, and then double down on the people that are great innovators? And then lastly, think big. How do you allow people to think big? Well, you let them start small and go fast. So our motto is think big, start small, go fast. Get as much out there as you can quickly at a cost that if it fails, you can afford the loss. So those would be my tips for the group today.
Bob, thank you so much for being here again. Congratulations on this award win and all your personal success.
Oh, well, thank you, Manish. It's been a pleasure, and it's really a team sport. I'm happy for Golden State Foods to be recognized. Thank you.
Great.
Yet again, it doesn't matter if it's live or virtual. Orange County is just filled with great innovators, and we're so proud each year to showcase them to you. The good news is not only do we have great recipients this year, but we can be assured next year of great recipients again, as the people we had to overlook in the judging were an extraordinary group of people. Finally, let me thank all of the people at the Orange County Business Journal who have made this event as successful as it has been. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and congratulations again, all of the winners this year. Candidly, as great as this program was today, I hope next year I'll be seeing you in person at our 7th Annual Innovator of the Year Award program.
Today's program has been made possible by our sponsors: Cox Business, Mashoff Brennan, Straddling, UCI Beal Applied Innovation, Wells Fargo Bank, and Edwards Life Sciences. We also appreciate the tremendous support of the Orange County Business Journal's events team. Thank you all for watching.